Hi everyone, my name is Christy from ChristyCryometal.com and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Outback, Australia. And I help card makers enhance your skills to boost your creative confidence to effortlessly craft beautiful designs that you adore. Now today I want to share with you the number one question that I get asked was when someone wants to join Stampin' Up. And right now, in October of 2024, Stampin' Up have an amazing Join Now offer, where for 169 Australian dollars, you can select up to $286 worth of product. Now, the question that I get asked often is, what product would you recommend? And so I'm going to share with you today what I would put in my starter kit if I was to join today and purchase my very first starter kit. Now, the couple of things that I have looked for in the products that I have selected is, one thing that I look for is, what can I make with all of this as well? So I want to make sure that I'm maximizing the use of my starter kit, that I can then grab it and I can create projects straight away and not have to order additional product with that before I can actually do something. So I'm also going to show you some of the project ideas that you can create using the supplies that I have purchased. So let me flip the camera around and let me share with you what I would put in my starter kit. Okay, so the very first thing that I would select is a paper trimmer. The reason I'll get a paper trimmer is because I need a paper trimmer so I can cut all my card bases and everything. I could always use a ruler and a pair of scissors, but a paper trimmer is going to give me those nice, clean, crisp cuts every time. As well as this one has a scoring blade, so I can score my cardstock and do some fancy folds and all sorts of things as well. So paper trimmer is definitely number one. Okay, so my second item is white cardstock. Now I'm picking white cardstock as opposed to colours because there's so much I can do with just white alone that I can't do with coloured cardstock. So definitely going to grab a pack of white cardstock, and there's 40 sheets in a pack, which makes it even better. Now the next thing you're going to need is a stamp set of some sort. Now I've selected this one called Spotlight on Nature. Now one thing that you want to look for in a stamp set, you want one that's going to have greetings and images and something that you can do for multiple occasions. Now this one here I can do a thanks or thank you, and I can do like a friendship card or a general greeting card, and I've got some like different images where I can, got a leaf image I can make it masculine, I've got a floral image that I can make quite feminine. So there's different textures and different things laid on this particular stamp set. So I've just got my stamp set, and of course with the stamp set I need a block to use to be able to stamp. Now I've just got one block, and this one here is going to fit all of my large images, and then I'm also going to use it to do some of my smaller images because I can't afford to use extra blocks at the moment. So I'm just going to get one block. Now the thing is, when it comes to cleaning your stamps, I can't afford in my budget to get a cleaning solution of any sort, whether it's the Stampin' Scrub or the chamois. So I'm simply just going to use some wet wipes or baby wipes that I have already on hand to use in the interim until I've got some funds together to actually buy myself some sort of cleaning solution to clean my stamps properly. So then of course I'm going to need some ink, so I'm going to grab some black ink, and then I'm going to grab these Stampin' Spots here. The best thing about these Stampin' Spots is that I'm getting 8 colours. And yes, they're just little, but there's so much you can do with these. So I've got 8 different colors that I can actually use, which means I can color my stamp image in 8 different varieties. And black, because I love a good black ink. So that's all my ink that I need. I also need some adhesive of some sort. I'm using liquid glue because it was the cheapest, and also because I know I can use this for small things as well as big things. And then I've got some dimensional adhesive, so there's 300 dimensionals that come in a pack, and this is great because I can add some dimension and some texture to my cards that I'm creating. So that's my adhesive. Now I do have some paper snips here because if I want to cut any shapes or maybe want to cut my images out or anything like that, I can, because I don't have anything in my budget where I can get dies or punches. So I simply can draw these, and I can hand cut these with scissors. So you definitely want to know a good pair of scissors, paper snips, and these go right to the point and they're very, very sharp. So these ones I definitely recommend. And then, of course, let's get some embellishments and let's, like, you know, spruce up our projects a bit. So I've got some linen thread because there's so much you can do with this. I can make it masculine, I can use it for feminine, I can tie it in a bow, I can colour it if I want, I can leave it off. So I've got linen thread because it's pretty universal. And then I grabbed myself some metallic gems. And I've got these ones because they've got silver, gold and copper colors, so I can use different kind of color range as well. And then I had some money left over and I'm thinking, what else could I buy? And so I've decided to grab myself some blending brushes, because then I can do multiple other little techniques with this as well, because I've got my stamping spots for my colors, and so I'm going to use some blending brushes, and that leaves me about 50 cents left over. So let's have a look at all these products that I'm getting for my starter kit price. Bring it all in here. It's my cardstock. Okay, there it all is. This is everything, and all I'm paying is $169. Now, what I want to share with you is a couple of projects that we can create using these products only. So let me clear this away and then let's get crafting. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to create my card base. Okay, so I'm using my paper trimmer and my scoring blade to create myself a little card base. Alright, so there's my card base, all folded. Okay, now I'm going to cut this piece up into a few extra little layers as well. I'm going to have a piece to mat, and then I'm going to have this piece go on top of that. And then I'm going to keep this little scrap piece because I'm going to actually use that as well in my project. Okay, so here's all my pieces. Okay, so these are all the little pieces I'm going to need to create my card. So now let's grab our stamp set. I'm going to use this one here first. I'm going to ink this up in Floaty Flamingo. So I'm going to bring one of my inking spots and I'm simply just going to turn the stamp over and apply my ink so it's all coloured. And there's my little flower image already done. And then let's clean this off, and as I said, I'm using baby wipes to clean my stamps right now because I don't have money in my budget to order any Stampin' Mist or scrub to clean these with. So this is just a temporary solution. This is not long term. And then I can take that off now and let's change it. And let's add my greeting. I'm going to use this one as my greeting. Line this up. Okay, I'm going to ink my greeting in black. Now, because it is a smaller image, you want to make sure you put it in the middle of the block. And I'm going to stamp this on here, like so. And then with my scissors, I'm going to fussy cut around that. Okay, so let's go ahead and Let's assemble our card. Now I want this to be a contrasting color. I want the background of this to be a different color, but I don't have an ink pad. I don't have any colored cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my black ink pad and I'm simply going to color my cardstock with it instead. So I'm just going to go around the edges because I want that nice black dark color because I don't have any black cardstock. So this is a cheat's way of actually coloring your cardstock when you actually don't have any colored cardstock. So now I have this now I have this nice black border. So just wipe my desk. Wet ones are really great because you can clean anything and everything with them. Okay, so let's add adhesive to the back of my card panel here. All right, and then I can simply now add this to here. And I've got a bit of water on that. That wasn't clever. And then here's my, what you call it, my greeting. And I'm going to add a little piece of twine to that. So I'm going to grab my twine. I'm going to tie this here into a bow. Place it on the back like that. And then I'm going to add some of our dimensional adhesive as well. I'm going to grab these little pieces. A bit on either side. Now I can't get the backing off. Okay, and we can stick that down. We can add our embellishments to it. And then this is what that card is going to look like. Okay, so we've added our cardstock with our black. We created our black cardstock by just rubbing some ink along some cardstock itself. My twine, I've got some dimensionals on there. Here's my little embellishments as well. So there's our first card that we've created. Now let's go ahead again and I'm going to create another card. Once again, we can create our card base and everything. I'm just going to create the front of this one for now. Okay, so I want to add a little bit of different things to it. So I'm going to grab my little inking spots here and let's add some color to our cardstock. So I've got some Daffodil Delight. I'm just simply dragging my ink pad. Just to apply that color, add a little bit of color and texture to our card here. And then of course I can grab our image and I'm going to ink this up in black ink this time. Like so, and then when you finish it, it's going to look like this. So once again, I've gone and done the black around the edges and I've added my green, I've got my twine, and I've added some silver embellishments this time that came from that metallic pack. So that's another way that you can use your supplies. Okay, so let's create another card. Okay, so these two pieces are going to nest inside each other. And let me just clean off my stamp. Okay, this time what I want to do is I want to add different colors. I want my flower buds to be a different color to my stem. So I'm going to ink my flower buds first. So I am using I'm going to use a post-it note to mask that portion off so I don't accidentally get any yellow ink. Actually, it's not even going to matter, because we'll do that blending bit. Okay, so I'm just adding it to my flower buds. And then I've got Granny Apple Green, which I'm going to use for my stems. Right, and now let's stamp that down. And now I have a coloured flower image. And then of course I'm going to layer this on top of another colour. So I've got Shaded Spruce here. We did have Shaded Spruce. Okay, so I've got my Shaded Spruce inking spot here, and I'm simply going to drag this along the edges of my cardstock to colour it in. Okay, and then we're going to add our adhesive. Let's stamp our greeting. Just clean off my stamp first so I can change it over. Let's go, dearest friend. Let's ink this in black. Quickly create myself a card base because I don't have one for this one. And you know what? I could leave it like that as is, but we're going to add something a little bit extra to it. So I have my little spot. I'm going to put this, and you can put this on a plastic sheet or something, or on your work surface. And then you're simply just going to add water to it. And I've got the paintbrush. So grab your little paintbrush, doesn't matter where. Grab it from an arts and crafts store or whatever. And then I'm simply just going to tap it to add some splatter to my card front, like that. And then let's add our adhesive to the back. And once again, I'm going to grab my embellishments. Might do silver, I think. And there's our card all finished. So there's 3 cards we so far have created. Now let me show you how to create one last card. Okay, so here's our cardstock here. I am just simply going to change my stamper and I'm going to grab my leaf image this time. Let's clear some space off, hey? Let's move all of this stuff so we can actually see what we are doing. So grab my shaded spruce. Let's ink this up. And I'm going to do what we call generation stamping. So I've stamped it once, stamped it twice. It's going to just keep on stamping around. Then I might ink it up in between as well. And stamp it again. And it doesn't matter that I'm going to go over the top of some of those images. That's okay. We're creating a sense, we're creating our own background paper here. One last time, I think. Okay, that is all done. Now remember how I said that we got some blending brushes? So this is what I want to do next. Next I'm going to grab my Granny Apple Green and I'm going to grab one of my blending brushes and I'm going to apply ink to this. I'm going to go around the edges and add our ink. Now this is something extra that we can do. It doesn't take much. Now these brushes you can rinse out and you can reuse them again, or you can use, like for example, this one here, you can use it for all your greens, and then maybe have another brush that you use for your pinks and reds, another one might use for your yellows, so it doesn't matter that they blend in together at all. And then I'm going to add some shaded spruce. Remember, you get 3 blending brushes in your kit. Okay, and then I'm going to clear off my stamp. And let's add this tiny little one. And I am simply going to ink this up, and I'm just going to do a scattering of this to fill in some of those gaps. It's like what I like to call salt and pepper stamps. Kind of fill in those gaps that we've got. Okay, and then we can stamp our greeting as well. So we'll take that off. Let's stamp this in black. I'm going to use my paper trimmer and I'm going to trim this down. And I'm simply going to add some distressing, and by doing that I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to go back and forth to rough up those edges. Okay, so then you're going to get this rough edge look, and then when you put your card together, it's going to look like this. So I've also done the same thing with my butterfly. So I've stamped my butterfly, and then I've added some brushed some ink, like the yellow and the pink on there. Here's I've added some little shading, got my sponge onto my greeting as well, because it was just too white. Here's my roughed up edges. I've added my twine and a little bit of sparkle as well, and there is our final card that we have created. So let's have a look at all the cards that we have created using our kit that we had purchased. So here we go. We've managed to create 4 cards, and we can do heaps more as well with all our supplies that we have already created. So these are the 4 that we have already created. And just think of the possibilities of how much more you can do. So think of it, when you do buy a stamp set and buy your supplies, think about what it is that you can potentially make with it, and how you could step it up and what extra things you could do. And now that we have our kit, there's nothing to say that we can't now add to it. Then think about next time when you want to place the order, because now you get 20% off everything you buy, that you might want to step up a bit. Maybe you want to buy the coordinating dies that go with them. Maybe you want to invest in some punches. Maybe you want to try some other techniques like colouring with stamping blends, or watercolouring, where you'd get some watercolour paper and some aqua painters to assist you with those sort of techniques as well. So the sky's the limit. So if you are starting out and you're looking for something to buy with your starter kit, these are the supplies that I recommend that you get. Or think of the products that you can have, or if you want to select your own products, think of products that go together so that you can actually create something from them. So if you've got any questions, be sure to shoot me a message. If not, here's the link below where you can join my team and take advantage of this great offer right now until the end of October. Thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to see you on my team. Bye for now.